Okay, so South Carolina has spoken. It basically was a 60-40 split in the favor of Donald Trump. I guess we all have seen it by now. But I did take a look at Fox's coverage. I also took a look at Carl Rove's final analysis of the primary in South Carolina. And I got to tell you, Carl Rove, you were dead wrong. Because Carl Rove seemed to be implying that Donald Trump needs to be magnanimous when he's dealing with Haley when Haley doesn't return it in kind. If you listen to Haley's speech, she is in no position or she's in no temperament to concede to Donald Trump. So it's difficult, as you would say, Carl Rove, for Donald Trump to be magnanimous to her. She had the opportunity to concede and bring the country together. She's talking all that talk about, oh, she cares about America, she cares about the people of America, and she cares about a Republican Party, and that's why she's staying in. No, she doesn't care about the American people. She's not doing it because she loves Republicans or she loves America. And if plagiarism was a thing in politics, she would have been charged. Because everything she said in her speech is basically a MAGA agenda. Pretty much a MAGA agenda. There's no originality in what she's doing. She's basically taken Trump's MAGA agenda and incorporated as if it was hers. So I hope the American people will see through all of this. And she can be as, put on a feminine charm, and she can be as tactful and diplomatic as she want to be. And, so people can say, oh, look at her. She's so cordial. Oh, look at her. She's so tactful. And Trump is so direct. We know who Trump is. And the people who love him, they love him because he's direct. So all that feminine charm and all that tact, it's not going to fly. And eventually the American people will see through this for what it is. This is all about Nikki's agenda. This is all about Nikki. This has nothing to do with the Republican Party. This is not being done in the interest of the American people. It's propaganda at its best. Nikki Haley had an opportunity in South Carolina, and for a moment, I thought she was actually going to concede. I thought she was going to come and say, well, look, this is over. I had a good run, and it's time to come together, and let's focus on the real op, which is Biden and the Democrat Party. And that is the difference with the Democrat Party. They know when to come together. They understand that if they want power, they know how to come together to get it. But the Republicans, they lack that sense of knowing when to stop, when to come together. And that's a problem. And that is usually displayed by people who you think should know better. Some of these politicians have 30 plus years of experience. And for some reason, they really don't understand the dynamic of politics. Because if they did, they would understand how to get power and how to maintain power. And based on my observation, it's quite clear that the Democrat Party understands that a lot more than the Republicans seem to. And if you look again, back to Carl Rove, if you look at Donald Trump's actions in the past, he and Ted Cruz went at it. And you talk about being magnanimous, Donald Trump was magnanimous to Ted Cruz. And he understood that, look, we need to come together so we can fight against the Democrats. And he did it with grace. So don't talk about him not being, he doesn't know how to be magnanimous and No. Stop the nonsense, Carl. Stop the nonsense. In closing, Nikki Haley had an opportunity today. She had an opportunity. She holds all the cards in terms of bringing this party together. As long as she says that she's in, of course her supporters is not going to be willing to acquiesce and says, oh, we're going to follow Donald Trump. Of course. Because the person who, quote unquote, is their leader is still in. Why would I give up if my leader is still in? Or somebody that I voted for is still in? I would figure, hey, we still have a chance. So she had an opportunity to do it. And she failed. She failed. She pretty much just made the Democrat Party stronger. And she's not truly interested in beating Biden. She's not truly interested in beating Biden. If she was truly interested in beating Biden, she would have given up tonight. Because there's no value, there's no merit in going on. There's no value, there's no merit. One thing I can say, it seems like Nikki Haley, okay, is willing to fight Trump more so than she's willing to fight Biden and the Democrat Party. Bottom line, her every action points in that direction. And I tell you something, that's not the way you win. You would think that you have a little more experience in politics and you would know that, but that's not the way you win. So if you want to be a loser, then sure, continue. But I'm really going to wrap it up now. And I usually wouldn't tell anyone to follow cues from Kamala. But say what you want to say. Kamala played her cards right. And that's the reason why she's vice president of the United States. Because she understood when to give up. She understood when to be conciliatory. And that much I should give her credit for. Of course, probably there were great advisors around her. Here's an opportunity to take a page out of Kamala's book. And if there was true leadership, senior leadership, and party stalwarts who understood what it takes to win an election, they would have come over and talked to Nikki Haley and said, look, in the interest of winning in 2024, let's do what is right. But it just goes to show that there's no political maturity in the Republican Party. Because if there was, none of these problems that exist currently would have existed. And at least there would have been a mechanism in place to resolve situations like these. That's all I got to say.